Well, there are three major events that have all come together to really show that the industry is going in the right direction. We've seen the negative attitudes about potatoes improve tremendously. The low-carb diets took people off track on potatoes. They believed potatoes were not good for them, and that's been erased. We're back to the place where we were before the low-carb diets, that people are back to believing potatoes are good for them, and it's a small number of consumers who have any concerns about potatoes, and the noise of the low-carb diets is gone.
That was something that it was from 2003, 2004 until now.
Right. It peaked in 2004 when the low-carb diets were at their height, and the news media carried the story, and the talk that everybody wanted to talk about at social gatherings was, are you on the diet, are you losing weight? The momentum was there for the idea that low-carb diets were a way to manage your weight. And that affected people's thoughts about potatoes and other foods that had carbohydrates, because it was the carbohydrates that were under challenge. And over time, and it's been a slow but steady piece of work to turn that around with education and information, and consumers have understood now, it wasn't the carbohydrates, it was how many calories I was eating, it was the lifestyle I was leading. It's not the potatoes. The potatoes are good food. Nice piece of news that we finally have an increase in per capita consumption of potatoes in the home. And for a long period of time, we've seen erosion in per capita consumption, that people's lifestyle, their opportunity to eat other ethnic foods that weren't potato friendly, number of factors that came into play that created steady declines in how many potatoes people were eating at home. But we finally have seen we've seen it stop where it wasn't continuing to go down, but now we've seen a really nice uptick where people are actually eating more potatoes at home. And that's really excellent news. That's what we've been striving for a long time, is to see that. Exports have been over $1 billion for 3 years in a row. We've seen steady growth. We've seen in the last 5-year period over 50% increase in the total exports of U.S. potato products in that time frame. That's a tremendous growth, and that's the kind of thing that the industry has got to have in order for growers to have increased opportunity for their production and for the industry to focus on the long term, because the long-term issues are the ones that have been dragging the industry down. The issues like consumer attitudes, like the decline in consumption, like the growth of exports. Those are not simple problems. I've got grower leaders who call it a game of inches, that those take a long time to turn those things around. There's no quick fix, there's no silver bullet, and you have to stay the course. You have to develop a plan that identifies the importance of addressing those issues, a pathway to get there, and then steady execution in order to achieve this. Excited about where the industry is, the initiatives that we've seen come together in the industry on a national scale that are bringing processors and organizations and growers together to solve these big problems. That's how the industry moves forward. People and regions living on their own island and trying to solve problems myopically are not going to get the industry very far. It's when we recognize that we have big problems and we come up with big innovative solutions, that's where we get the industry going.